Guy's gonna pinch down and destroy the snapper as his head is down and he's still snapping. You can't do that. Number one. Number two, Lucas Van Ness is right here. He is snapping the ball, and you're gonna see this guy on the right make contact inside shoulder of the right guard, which is Larry Borum, and then he's gonna come into contact. He's gonna do the same thing, and they're just gonna destroy him. Lucas Van Ness comes behind. He's gonna push, come behind, and push. You see him driving there, number 90.
Yeah, man.
So this guy's head's down. Okay. And now Lucas is gonna come off, and now he's helping and assisting right there, which is illegal.
Oh man, I didn't even see that portion of it.
But this circumvents all of the rules. You're gonna see it from the coach's angle too, but this is where you really could see the push from behind. He contacts the guy, fights, and he's gonna push number 94, who's in the air, forward for the block and this. I mean, look at this pile here. Borum, everybody's on their ass. All of them attack the inside, and it just goes against the thing.
And I guarantee you, Phil, they had nothing to lose by trying to do it.
Right. They're just saying, okay, let's try it. So 94 immediately goes right after the long flag automatic.
There was no chance. I don't care. There was no chance. The only chance you get right there is you call that penalty and get them to lay off.
This isn't crying over spilled milk. This is the rule that they instituted that has been called on other people. The Bears are sending the play into the league. They'll try to probably cover up the safety issue, and they will talk about Van Ness. I believe my boy illegal pushing teammates on scrimmage kick. It's rule NFL 9.1.3. Once I saw him engage, you can't do it. It's just sad.
He's right there.
Two of them. They missed both.
Wow.
And Packer fans are running their mouths.
Yeah.
And you ruin everything. I mean, look at the destruction that was caused here.
Yeah. I haven't seen a train wreck like that in a long time.
Look at Larry Borum. I mean, come on, ref. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
They weren't trying to cheat, saying, hey, I'll bet, let's just bet that they don't call it. Let's take that chance. They have a call for it, like buddy block. Buddy block.
Block with the push.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
So chase greatness and start understanding that he's gonna make everybody better.
Tape never lies.
I don't want to see your tape breakdowns if you cannot show me things that are negative about a guy that's on your current team.
Hashtag chase greatness. Hashtag take that.
Keep it 100.
Because I'll make this one more time clear. Caden Whitlow, cut it. He is the best quarterback I have ever scouted on tape.
The Chicago Bears select.
Guess who's back? The two dudes
truths and kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man in Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keep it in 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the fake and anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters, but now they're moused up like the true and now and laters. Debaters, straws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shane.
Give me some fucking names in 2 fucking games.
Fuck a play or a captain, all of the upstairs. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trip sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100, baby. Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
100. Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100. Down there.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look at this asshole did to me. Oh, yep. I'm not Cherie. Neither is he. That's what I get for not paying attention.
Yes, I am not.
Not
either.
Oh, shit. Nobody's here, Phil. We don't know what to do with our hands.
We don't know how to set up a field goal.
No.
We don't know which side our kicker feels most comfortable.
Well, I think we know. We're just not smart enough to fucking set it up for him. You know, it's only been 3 years. It's like waiting for a quarterback to get unlocked in year 5, right? It's the same thing. You fucking wait till he gets to a good team. Eberflus, he's gonna flourish.
Yeah, I remember those same guys that told me Caleb sucks were the same guys that told me Eberflus was good.
Yeah.
There's a common denominator there. The night crawlers, they're coming out.
Shane's got no yo. That's not my role here.
He doesn't do the yos.
No, I don't do the yo. I didn't even know that
I
I
haven't
was
spoken to the yo originator.
I know. We gotta get him back for a clip.
I know. I haven't even talked to him the whole Bears season.
See, I gotta admit, we'll take you guys behind the scenes a little bit. I was technically sabotaged right live on air because we were both when the intro was done playing. I had
me in the fucking picture.
I had it set for me and Phil to both be there. Well, then he removed himself, and I was the solo act, and I wasn't paying attention until, hey, look, it's me up there. But
oh, this is Claudio the Barber. Yo, 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 this is Claudio the Barber. Oh, this is Claudio the Barber. This is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports Keeping It 100. Listen, it's Jesper Horsted's world, and we're just all living in it. Oh, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports Keeping It 100. I see you, Sherry. I see you. This is Michael the fucking killer right here. All right?
Never mind. Take him off. I can't even understand him because of the mask. It's done. Take it off.
single worst Photoshop job in the history of Photoshops there at the end.
The worst Photoshop.
Yeah. Oh man, what a
was in a car at work driving home.
What's that?
Jackal. He
Yep,
texted. I'm like, "Are you coming on tonight?"
I love balls.
And that's basically what he said.
that he loves balls and he
Yeah.
won't be able to make it. Well, hey, we're not here to judge.
He might love soccer balls.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't
Well, we
know.
love footballs. So, what a week, though, man. It's just when you think it can't get any crazier, it just continues to spiral and doubling down on complete fucking nonsense. And it's, man, you know, we've been Bears fans forever, Phil, obviously. And it's like when somebody picks on your family member, even if they're a fuck up, you know, you can pick on them. But if somebody else does, and then you take it personal, you know, it's that way with the Bears for me, and I know it is with you too. We understand the situation, and we understand that the Bears are a fuck up. But when people outside our inner sanctum say shit about the Bears, you take it personal. But if you remove yourself from that, it's why they're the fucking laughing stock. We can't laugh at the Jets. We can't laugh at what the Detroit Lions used to be, because that's who you are as a franchise. Not that you don't have quality players. I'm still extremely high on the quarterback. Not going to get in that debate tonight, but they're a fucking laughing stock, and they deserve to be, because that's who they are from top to bottom. Ryan Poles, you're not doing good enough. Matt Eberflus, you shouldn't be employed. Shane Waldron, you're not here for a reason. And I'm going to kick it right off here, Phil, because you and I talked about this. We talked to our guy, Greg Braggs. Proud of that guy. Proud for what he did. Proud for the rant that he let unleash on CHGO. It's exactly what this franchise needs. You know, CHGO is got a wide audience, and Greg, everybody knows who Greg Braggs is. Those sort of things, that gets back to Hallis Hall. Those players see that. George McCaskey sees that. He's got a burner account. Everybody knows that he does. He does. They see it. Those things make an impact. So props to Greg for going off that way. And like I said, if there's blowback or whatever happens, it just shows you how fucked up this organization is from top to bottom. It's not about winning ball games. It's about how we look in tweets, how we look in the media. That is their sole focus. And beyond that, they're a fucking joke, like I said.
Yeah. You have a platform. I feel like you should use it. When people are wrong, they should admit they're wrong, not try to flip-flop and walk it back.
We can play it, Madman. Phil, you got no reservations about playing it for him, do you? I can grab it and put it in.
My little son took a page from Phil's rant book and decided to listen.
It only took him 6-7 years to realize, you know, it's fine sometimes.
I go, you need to say this on the air, not in my ear, just like I do. Like, the accountability is not there. The laughter behind the closed doors is there. So when you see all of these football people in and around the league, and let's just say it's a mediocre league, and that's what they want, then you have, you know, the guys that put football first and not politics. And when it's not like that, and you take pride in the ownership not firing anybody in season, with the history in the season of Mark Trestman, of Matt Nagy, and we could go down the list that you don't fire coaches in season is not a badge of honor. It's a travesty. It's a travesty.
So here is the rant from our guy Greg Braggs, and it starts a little bit slow, and then you can see the buildup. And like I said, it's the money shot. So here we go.
Well, I kind of feel just how every Bears fan feels, and this is just complete torture as Bears fans to go through yet another brutal and devastating loss. But at the end of the day, Matt Eberflus deserved that loss. An undisciplined team to start the first half.
Yeah.
Tons of penalties, just sloppiness, lack of preparation. We've seen it time and again. Attention to detail. Yes, the players have to execute. They hold their own accountability, but it's a trickle-down effect when your team isn't ready to play. The amount of illegal formations, illegal shifts, offsides on fourth down when the Packers they're just trying to bait you.
That was unbelievable.
And they fell for it because Matt Eberflus, you don't have your team prepared. And then it gets all the way to the end of the game. We all saw what happened. Matt Eberflus did exactly what Matt Nagy did in 2019 against the Chargers. Afraid, coward play calling, situational moment, and you're more worried about what will go wrong. Good coaches know what's going to go right because they have their team prepared for that moment. They run to the line of scrimmage with 30 seconds left, and they run a play to get a few more yards. That's confidence. Playing scared means you're going to run that clock all the way down. Everybody's nervous as cats. The entire stadium, your coach, everybody across the board, your kicker, whoever failed on the offensive line in that moment. I blacked out from whatever happened in that moment. But I'm not surprised because that is who you are, Matt Eberflus. You're scared, and your teams become scared, and that's why you now sit where you're at. And Ryan Poles, that's what you get too. Because you should have fired him last week. And instead you kept him here. And now he's coaching scared because his job's on the line. And guess what? You blow a game to the Green Bay Packers 11 in a row. How does that taste, George McCaskey? You enjoying it? You enjoying the Packers whipping your ass for 4 years? Keep them. Keep them some more. Run them back. Re-sign them all. Because that's all you care about, right? Is this Insiders Club crap. How about you start firing some guys? Shane Waldron was a scapegoat. Matt Eberflus is the problem, period. And you want to keep him, hold out some semblance of hope. The only guy that showed any heart on that coaching staff, Thomas Brown, credit to you. Got your quarterback ready to play some football today. Big onions throws from Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter. Matt Eberflus, you ain't got no onions. You're scared. You play scared. You coach scared. So your team's scared. And they failed. They failed you. They quit on you 3 weeks ago. You should have fired them, Ryan Poles. Kevin Warren, start cleaning house, period.
Big onions.
Yeah. He's not wrong. Not one bit of that is wrong, man. Not
all I can
one
say
bit.
is it took you a while to get there, Greg.
Oh yeah, but
the
I can't
problem
believe this.
is,
I can't
I'm
believe
sure the sidekicks got upset.
Yeah, I can't believe CHGO's slacking on the Onions t-shirt. You know, not on sale yet, by the way.
You got no onions, George.
He's telling the truth.
No onions. He is.
He's telling the truth.
He's kicking the truth to the young Bear youth. Because I'm just telling you, I was so destroyed and disheveled by the outcome because there's two sides to it. There's the lack of coaching.
Yeah.
And then there's the officiating side that haunts you. And I know people talked about Rex Ryan. I know Cap played that with Hoodie. And Rex Ryan's like, well, good for the Bears because you got a quarterback and you're going to get a coach that's gone. and you'll get a higher pick to help the quarterback. So look at it like that. I can't look at it like that because when you stand in front of the room and you're a professional organization, and I mean, I've been around like great coaches my whole life. I've been around so many great coaches, and the Bears keep shoveling shit to the podium. And it's hilarious that I can see it in like 3 games. This ain't the guy. Situationally, you should be locked and loaded. How in your right mind in the NFL in today's day and age can you hire guys that have never been a head coach on any level? Like, I don't care what anybody says or tries to tell you. You have to have some command of the locker room. You can't be a coordinator and think that you're going to be able to get through this heaping pile of shit that's above you. You have to have a backbone. You have to have a plan and an identity right when you walk in the room. And that's why I was so adamant about Jim Harbaugh. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Like, this network can go back since the old network, me talking about Jim Harbaugh being the answer. All the way back.
It just set up so fucking perfect for him.
It just was. It was a layup, Shane. Yep. It's like an open net and you miss the shot. Like, it's improbable.
No, you didn't miss it. You didn't even attempt it. You didn't even attempt it.
The fact that Ryan Poles stood at the podium is a huge indictment on him that they didn't even hire him. Now, the conspiracies. Like, get out in front, stand at the fucking podium, Poles, and put a period to the sentence. We have the epic audio quote of him saying, I chose him. You remember when Potash asked him? Because Potash was on it right out the gate. Right out the gate. Like, did you want more time to look at some other coach? No, I chose him. So was it that they chose him? Was it that George and these guys love a certain personality? I've said this forever. This is not new. Every TTNL fan knows I've been talking about a coach that's maniacal, that has a presence, has a big personality, that is an alpha. Those things I've said for the last 7, 8 years. I was on the old network. The old man in the dungeon was getting after me about it because he thinks that's antiquated football. No, it's real football, a real head coach that's able to change and acclimate to the personnel, not bring your system here and try to fit everybody in. It's pretty simple. Like the whole 3-4-4-3 bullshit. No, any player that's in the NFL that's an end, a defensive end that can pass rush, can play in a 3-4 in the right situations. You have to understand them and how to use them. If you're a pass rusher, so TJ Watt could play in a 4-3 as a D end. He also could play in a 3-4 as an outside linebacker. And we could go down the fucking list. All of these nerd boys talking football without any kind of understanding. Are there fits for your philosophy? Yes. Once you've got your identity of what it is you want, then you have fits for your philosophy. But the Bears have hired the wrong church-going, book-reading, book club guy each and every time. Somebody that's easily just not going to cause any drama. But what did Eberflus do? Fired how many coaches? 9 coaches. There was all this drama in-house that they've covered. Some real shit. Crazy shit that will one day get out there. That'll be unbelievable. And if you have somebody that's a yes man, that's whether they have a 4-year contract, 5-year contract, you're a $1 billion business. You like I was at a school where the principal he loved 8 and 8, or he loved even 5 and 5.
Jeff Fisher.
He's like, listen, this way, not everybody's too upset, not everybody's too happy. It's a medium, and that's small thinking.
Isn't that why Jeff Fisher isn't in the league anymore? Because there's 17 games, can't finish 500.
Yeah,
right.
But being a manager, a general manager, or a president, and your goal isn't to be championship quality, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and so just like with this, I think George is partially right here. I don't think Poles missed Harbaugh. I don't think ownership was going to ever let him even be in the discussion, because that's the Bears. That's the way that I truly feel.
I agree with you.
Yeah, and I don't know I know there's a lot of talk about
they didn't talk to him because
about Harbaugh and Warren, and I mean we could get into that, but I mean I don't think he was ever a consideration. Listen, they talked to guys before Poles was even hired. Let's be honest. So,
like, you have this general board. All right, you've all seen these movies. You've all seen them where there's a smorgasbord of very wealthy, born with a silver spoon in your mouth people. It's basically the movie Elf, right? Guy, he's at the top, doesn't give a fuck about nothing. He's wealthy. Somehow he has this kid who's an elf. The whole board poo-poos anything, but the facts are you have to get your ear to the ground of football. You can't hire outward people like Ernie Accorsi and Bill Polian and think that they are going to understand your culture, tap into it, and completely ignore the Olin Kreutzes of the world, the Waddles of the world. You can't go out of, Peanut Tillman and not bring in these guys that have been in this culture, have recognized the potholes, that have recognized the cobwebs, know where they are, and are able to help you course correct. When you're an administration with backdoor channels, talking behind each other's backs, and you have reporters that are afraid to report for fear that their credentials will be taken away or their insight to what it is your mess will bring the next headline to, then you have control of a losing, terrible joke of a franchise that literally could be the golden goose of all. Like, you literally could be the shiniest, most amazing. Like you said, Harbaugh's right there. You think that this would be happening under his watch? You think
no,
we would not lose these games because he's maniacal. And it's not about money. It's about fear of, and everybody laughed at me when I went on my rant about soft knocks and allowing George McCaskey to make it a fan. Remember, we had this fucking guy in here. Then we had some of these beat reporters thinking, well, I actually like it because my kid can watch. Shut your fucking kid's ears. Let him fucking watch it.
Because your kid's not hearing any curse words in everyday life. It's the
most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But it happened because of the McCaskey. There's one common denominator here. George McCaskey and his inability to recognize the need of people like me that are straight shooters. They're gonna just tell you the football truth. Your whole
right.
fucking Larry Mayer down to coffee with fucking coach and whatever the fuck else you and Jeff Joniak and all.
Oh my fucking God. Your lunch with Larry.
He probably threw him out for swearing when he said it.
Hey, Carrie Franklin sent me the video of the halftime with Devin Hester, and he dropped an F-bomb with George up on the stage right there. Best fucking fans in the NFL. Crowd cheered.
They'll never show it.
They didn't cheer for the owner. I'll tell you that.
I heard they booed the shit out of George.
Twice.
And listen, you can't have it both ways, George. You just can't. You can't, on one hand, want your team to work their asses off, understand a rivalry when you're a goofy ass, soft pussy. It just doesn't work. There's no direction there. So you have to put someone in the football place. And Poles is afraid of George and everybody's afraid of George because George is writing the check, then we see the huge problem. And it's honestly, I don't know about you, Shane, but for my whole life, I've been around every type of race, every person, religion, politic.
Same.
Right? And there's a gut feeling that you have around certain people. And when they think their shit doesn't stink, when you've worked your ass off your whole life, you don't know what it is to miss a meal, George. You don't know what it is to fucking have live check by check and be there in the presence of your favorite team and have it run to the ground in embarrassment because you keep putting coaches and their personalities in front of the reality of what you need in regards to a real strong character. I'm not asking you to hire a murderer. I'm asking you to hire somebody that is going to have their identity when they walk right through the fucking door.
It's
command the respect.
It's not even just the identity, Phil. There's nothing wrong with hiring somebody that makes you uncomfortable because listen, sometimes the thing that hurts you most to your core is hearing the truth about yourself from somebody. A lot of people can't handle that. George McCaskey, the McCaskey family, they just happen to be one of those groups of people that can't handle the truth about themselves. And that is exactly what a guy like Harbaugh or somebody with a legitimate presence would supply to them. They don't want the truth. They don't. Good enough, mediocre to worse is fine for them. We don't want to rock the boat. That's just who they are. And I started this because it's Keys guy, I think we would be happy because you got the Green Bay monkey off your back, but it changes nothing with the head coach. Nothing.
I would be ecstatic about Caleb.
Yeah.
What you saw out there doesn't go away. It's just hindered. It's like running your fucking new speedboat and having your buddy throw the anchor while you're going 60 knots. It ain't working smoothly, Keys guy. So we can have a lot of, what do we call this? Hypotheticals.
Well,
let's
it's
have another hypothetical.
He might not even mean it like that. I wanted to get that point across, but I've seen, like, I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I have the quote unquote burner account that we use to schedule shows on Facebook, and I can read different things, and I see things in our Keepin' It 100 page from Andrew Brown, I think, is like the oh, you can't fire Flus, you got to give him time, and you got to ride this out. And what good does it do? Good does it do?
Andrew Brown is as lost as fucking.
Well, that's
I
the
have
thing,
no
and
idea.
it goes back to raising your kids, and if there's an issue with one of your children and a teacher, you don't just let it go. You have to go fix the issue. You know what I mean? You can't. Oh, let's just let them ride. It's November. Let's just let them get to June. It'll probably work itself out. And oh yeah, by the way, you're in year 3. Even if you want to write off the first year because they were stripping it down, that's fine. The entire roster does not have to be exactly where you need it. It's fundamental football. It's situational awareness.
This is the
and
guy
you're
that,
in year 3, and it is non-existent. I'm going to bring this up too, and I'm going to play
this
it.
is a guy that said the 13 yards didn't matter before they all marry,
Bill,
and doubles down on it, not
yeah, and he
triples down on it on a Thursday, then does the same thing in this situation where getting closer and kicking on 4th down or 3rd down might actually help you win a football game instead of 2nd down. So you're telling me that the epic failure that was, despite what we showed you at the beginning, there was 2 penalties not called, and it's atrocious.
Oh, they don't call that at the end of the games.
Yes, they do.
They do. And by the way, it's a fucking penalty. It's 2 penalties.
It's 2.
Right.
All these Packer little pussies want to talk about Swift jumping offside. What did he get? 6 yards after that toss?
Yeah, this ended the game.
This is the game-ending clinching attempt, and you cheated twice. Neither one of them was called. Then you got jackass coach not even knowing and paying attention to his kicker, knowing where he wants to line up. On top of all of the stupidity and the lack of officiating in the NFL and how it ended, taking away 2 stories for EJ and the Nightcrawlers, where it would be what? How would Caleb Williams, hold on, Jay, how would Caleb Williams be talked about? There was no Hail Mary and there was this comeback win. He is who we said he is. I'm just telling you that.
Yeah,
rookies are going to have bad games. They're going to. Fucking veterans do. Jared Goff had 5 picks, for fuck's sake. And they were able to win. It's going to happen to veterans. It's the NFL.
Right. And
look at the eyeballs. Look at your eyeballs.
Right. And this is kind of what Key's guy was referring to. And again, and I would say this to Greg's face. I would say it to him on the phone. I would say it to him if he was live on air with us right now. Greg is an emotional guy. He's not an X's and O's guy, and he gets caught up in heat of the moment, stuff like that. So Greg is a fan first, and that's fine. He's never pretended to be anything else. And yeah, he's a guy that's going to ride the emotional wave of most fans. And that's what that has caused from. And we wanted Matt Eberflus gone during the offseason. It doesn't change our outlook because they beat the Packers. Now, if the Bears were 10-0 right now, or 11-0, or whatever, 8-3, we could have a different conversation. But we're not. To me, it always came down to situational awareness with Matt Eberflus, and unfortunately, it's gotten worse. And what is making it worse with him? he's not admitting mistakes. He's double and tripling down.
Right.
They asked him today, if you could do it over, would you consider putting it on the right hash mark for your kicker, who, by the way, wants to kick it from the right hash mark, who fell on the sword for his coach Sunday and said it didn't matter. And everybody saw today, Cairo came out and said, yeah, he would have preferred it on the right hash mark. Guess where Cairo kicks every single one of his extra points, guys? Guess. From the right hash mark. Flus, don't matter. Wouldn't change it. We had a good process. And here it is. Here's an all-time Bear, Pat Manley. He's not a divisive guy. He's done.
I
Done
don't
with
think he's
Flus.
ever taken a harsh stance in his life. What does he say?
That is coaching 101. That's egregious that there was no discussion about that. Was there discussion about that? I don't know. And we can get into that a little bit. Let me just start with this. That's coaching 101. You start. There's a reason why you go to OTAs. There's a reason why you have mini camps.
Imagine that.
There's a reason why you have training camp. There's a reason why you do situational football. There's a reason why on Thursday you finish the offensive periods every Thursday with a 2-minute drill, a different situation. Whether it's, all right, we got 34 seconds, we need a field goal, we got one timeout, let's just run the 2-minute drill that way. So the offense knows and the defense knows. To it being a minute and 34 seconds, we got one timeout, we need a touchdown. You run through that each week. Each week is a different situation. So you've gone over these scenarios 2 to 3 to 4 times throughout the entire offseason and regular season. So when you're doing that, the special teams coach is standing next to the head coach and the OC, and he's asking, should be asking, all right, what's our kick line today with this wind? Because at Hallis Hall, it can be windy, so it'll be a different kick line if you're going for the field goal. All right, what hash today would Cairo prefer? That is always discussed. I played 16 years in the NFL.
Listen to this part.
Was been fortunate to be on a lot of game-winning kicks, game missed kicks, game block kicks, whatever. That is always discussed as soon as you get the ball back. The offensive coordinator should click over to the head coach and OC and say, listen, here's the kick line going north or south, wherever you're going, or in Soldier Field or Dome or whatever it is. If you have time, Cairo prefers it on the right hash.
And you had
38 Listen,
seconds
everybody knows
and
he
a
prefers it
timeout.
on the right hash. Where does he kick his PATs from?
Every
Where
one,
is he most comfortable?
Every one of them
Where
is
is he
from the
most
right
comfortable?
hash. Every one of
Where
them
is
is
he
from the
most
right,
comfortable?
from the right
So that's
hash. Pat.
your job. That's your job as a coach to take care of that situation. To me, that is just I hear it. I don't understand it. You know, there's a lot of stuff. I've talked about having the book on firing Matt Eberflus, and after this week and hearing what's going on and the miscommunication and or communication that happened or didn't happen, whatever it was, I just don't understand it.
And Phil, the only thing that makes it worse, we all fuck up. We all have mistakes. But if you're going to double and triple down on them when it is clear as fucking day, you know what it means? It doesn't only mean
accountability.
It doesn't mean that you don't have accountability. It doesn't mean that you're inept. It means you're a fucking asshole. It does. It means you're dumb. That's what
And
that means.
it also, you have to add in the historical level of losses.
Right.
So if you lose historically when you're supposed to win, and you step to the podium and say you wouldn't do it any different, you've basically said you're a psychopath of stupidity. Like, you aren't learning as a
and
head
he's
coach.
telling Phil and Shane and every one of you listening, fuck Phil, Shane, Greg Braggs, everybody in our comments. You're dumb enough. You're too fucking dumb to understand. I'm smarter than you. So you're just going to have to listen to me because I'm right and you're a mouth-breathing fucking idiot that can't figure it out for yourself. This is why things are so divisive now, Phil, because 20, 25, 30 years ago, when we first met, we were talking about this shit in message boards that didn't have global fucking reach. There wasn't a guy in Germany watching Keeping It 100 on Wednesday night. You didn't have the impact. There wasn't all of this social media. Now the pressure is cranked up so much more. The media scrutiny, and let's be honest, we know how the media is too. There's guys that are kiss asses that are trying to get things down the line where they're not going to report everything because they don't want to piss off the franchise. That shit happens.
That's problem number one.
It's problem number one, and this is why this franchise has been the way that they are.
They're controlling a narrative. Who's not afraid? That's where we have to go. We have never been afraid. We have always spoken the truth. There's no like, whoa, no. Me and Shane will debate. I've called out cars. I've called out everybody, basically, when we have a disagreement or there's something. I've called out myself for being wrong. Whatever it is, there's always a come to the truth moment. That's the way you coach. That's the way you run an organization. And that's the way football always, football will chew you up and spit you out if you're any kind of fraud. You can't overcome it. Everyone catches up to you, what it is you're doing or what it is you're going to do. They know your shit. The Patriots were laughing because they knew exactly what you were doing. You held on to Waldron, a guy you shouldn't have been hired too long. You can't make these tough choices. Someone else has to make them for you, or someone's behavior, then how it is looked at by HR. Maybe then we can move on from the coach or whatever it is. But the McCaskies are living in this fucking yellow submarine of fucking non-swearing, church-going, nice yes men hired from the Good Old Boy Network, whether it be Trace Armstrong or anybody else. This is the showcase of what it is the Chicago Bears have become. They don't, like, I love Flores, the coach, like who he is, how he's going to stress out Caleb. We talk about this all week. Right then and there, has anyone ever heard of Matt Eberflus before he was hired? No, I'm fearful of that Matt Eberflus defense. I tell you what, no, he's running the same old gimmicks and zone, cover 2, 3rd and 15, hit the deep end, something within the seam, find that window. It's a joke. And what is he bringing to the table that you can't rid yourself of with tonight? There's zero. He's not the only reflection of him is the penalties, the lack of execution, and all the things he says he has expectations for. The good coaches come in with an identity, with a personality, with an ego, with emotion. They are competitors to the core. They don't come in and list off the fucking positives in an epic loss. You just don't. If you remember, I think it was 6 games into his first season. I'm like, this isn't the fucking guy. When you come in listed, no fucking way. We're done. Like, he's never going to do it. You're going to have to hire the likes of Fangio's, really respected coordinators in order to overcome this clown circus that was Rick from fucking The Walking Dead. Now he's tried to pretty up himself, looking like some, a fucking Kohl's model. But the same outcomes come into fruition. Sunday's the same thing. Be pissed off. Get up to the podium. You know what? We're sending that fucking play into the league. I am so pissed right now. I just watched it walking here to the fucking podium. That's why it took me 20 minutes to get here. But they're pushing guys and they're fucking attacking the long snapper, all of which I thought was illegal. But those are the Denny Green, John Gruden, Jim Harbaugh.
Well, the thing about it is, Philly,
all of these fucking guys have a backbone.
He's smart enough to craft his words to where he won't get fined. Just like you said. Hey, my interpretation of the rule is you can't attack the center. You can't push your guy. You say it like that, you're not getting fined. That's my interpretation of the rule. That's the way that it's been explained to me numerous times. If you come out and say, these motherfuckers totally fucked us out of a game and you're going to get fucking hammered for it. But Flus is just, he's lost in the sauce. And where was it? Our guy Sean had a steward had a thing on the more time passes, the more I wonder if those HR violations were just the coaches calling out Flus. Well, we don't have confirmation. It definitely,
one of them is not.
Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, and
I don't know. We do have a lot to say.
The running backs coach was just saying wildly inappropriate things within Alice Hall and was reprimanded for it.
Swearing a lot
and did it again.
These motherfuckers need to fucking block. George was like, who's swearing?
Yeah. Well, you can imagine where I'm going when I say inappropriate things. I think you know what I mean.
I know.
I don't think it was to players or coaches. If you catch my drift, the other one definitely was not. Yeah, that's
Flus with Mike McCarthy.
No,
these dummies. I mean, oh my God! You look at the corporate. I've called them the corporate bears since the old network. Corporate bear. I used to put it in lyrics.
Somebody called you out in the YouTube comments. I don't know, about a month or 2 months ago, saying Phil doesn't know what corporate means. Corporations make money. I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, so do the fucking Bears. I mean, so that's an epic swing and a fucking miss. By the way, yeah, Jesus Christ.
Corporations.
I think some of our,
what a dumbass.
I understand that we can be a little divisive at times and call people out, so that's why some people hate us. But I mean, when you're gonna bring weak shit to the comment section like that, of course I'm gonna say something back immediately as soon as I see it. Phil doesn't know what corporation is. Corporations make money. Oh yeah, so do the Bears, but
they make money like Vegas.
Yeah,
like motherfucking Shane witnessed the most epic lack of effort by a football team he's ever witnessed. Still spent money in the pro shop.
Guys, I've seen the 400 comments about this. I don't have a short list yet. I don't. I'll just be honest. I have some guys that I'm interested in.
Need to be on it.
Yeah, it's just I don't have a short list right now. I'm not there. It's like, where do you guys want to go in the first round? I mean, I see people in the chat saying, well, in the first round, I want a defensive lineman. And the second round, I want an offensive guard. Well, we don't know where we're drafting. We don't know who's declared for the draft. We don't know who is going to be available at those picks. So it's just, I understand it's fun, but it's a long fucking off season where we'll have all of that shit covered. I'm just being honest. And this is the thing that I brought it up with Ben Johnson, and I know he's the flavor that everybody loves right now, and we just don't know who's gonna be his offensive line coach. If it's Juan Castillo, guess who I don't want as head coach? I don't want Ben Johnson.
Right.
If Juan Castillo's his offensive line coach. Those things matter big time. And I'm telling you, and people don't want to fucking hear this. I've seen it happen already with Thomas Brown. where people are fucking putting him on a pedestal. I understand. Short week, you looked respectable. Well, go out and do it against Minnesota, who's going to be going fucking crazy with pressures and doing all of that stuff. Thomas Brown doesn't deserve the pedestal yet. He doesn't. Let's again. How many times have we said this here? 99% of fans fall into the category of you either are fucking amazing and the best ever, or you fucking suck. There's no middle ground when 99% of the players fall right into that middle ground. So I'm just being honest. Do you have a short list, Phil? I have guys that I'm interested in.
Well, I have guys that I think have to be interviewed.
I think you got to interview everybody.
But I'm just saying there's guys that have to be in it. Like, you can't turn your back on Gruden. You just can't. You can't say he's off the list.
Right.
Bill Belichick can't be off the list.
Talk to them all.
If you don't fucking talk to these guys, that is the problem. The problem is you not talking to the best candidate to fall into your lap in 3 decades. He's done. His record speaks for itself. Here's the crazy thing. He's a former first-round pick of the Chicago Bears, which, oh, by the way, he was a quarterback. What did the Bears need? A first-round quarterback. Here's the perfect guy to help transition the young quarterback. You failed so miserably that you can't even write the story in how bad it is. But Albert Breer will say that tomorrow, and everyone will fucking drool over his words in framing that up. But I've been saying this for fucking how many years about Harbaugh? And you had him, and he knows you. And his dream job, he had said, is the Chicago Bears job. And you didn't even fucking interview him because you had Ryan Poles and the Matt Eberflus era. Who? Come on. Same guys that said Chris Morgan's a good offensive line coach and fucking crawling into the fucking cobwebs of bullshit right now. Show me the tape where any of them have improved. It's just not there. You hire shit. Guess what you get? Shit. You gotta get somebody that has an identity. So that's where it starts. That's why those lists, the Gruden, we know what Gruden is. He's got an identity. Not everybody loves him. I don't give a fuck. Shane's right. George has to be a little bit uncomfortable with the personality, George. We talk. I mean, this was stolen from me by ESPN 1000. I talked about Costanza for George McCaskey to do the opposite. Do the opposite of whatever it is you do and have done when it comes to hiring a coach. Don't go to Ernie Accorsi and Bill Polian. Go to one of your former fucking players. How about go to the guy you take with a grain of salt? Talk to him. Sit down. Take some fucking notes. You think your mom's going to help you here? You've been atrocious. Where's this board? Where's the board, the Chicago Bears board of directors, holding their chairman accountable for all the failures he's had? Or just because you're the chairman, you own it, you're the king. You're that motherfucker from Game of Thrones, that little shit that everyone fucking hated. That's what you are? What was his name? You never watched Game of Thrones. You don't know. Jaffe. George Jaffe McCaskey. There you go. Joffrey.
So during the 12 years as chairman of the Chicago Bears, George McCaskey's record is 86 in 120, which would entrench him at 24th in the NFL. And in those 12 years, 5 of those seasons are double-digit losses. Where was the one?
There's a lot of
George, I love Genty. The Bears draft the first round running back. It's pack it the fuck up.
You gotta get a lineman, D or O.
Can't.
It's simple as that. You gotta get lineman. Genty, I love.
Is an amazing player.
You just can't take him with the first pick.
Can't. No, I love the player. Yeah, that would be not good.
I am with Dion Wheeler. I think
Brian
Flores is like the Bill Belichick waiting to happen. Learn from your fucking mistakes. He's been a head coach.
What's going to come down to it with him, Phil, and you know the story, you and I have talked about it, is the relationship that he had with Tua was extremely toxic. He did the right thing and admitted it. Flores didn't try to pull the Eberflus and say, blame it on everything else but himself. He admitted it. What it's going to come down to with Flores is trust. Do you trust him to figure it out with the quarterback moving forward? That is 100% what it's going to come down to. Everything beyond that, he's a fantastic leader.
I think he would.
Coach. Well, I know.
I think you learn this.
I understand. I understand. But
has Matt Nagy ever came out?
The position that you're in, can you afford giving him?
Yeah, I can because he checks a box of identity. It should start there.
I get it.
Like Mike Tomlin, 2 points off of Tomlin. Do you think Mike Tomlin lets good coaches leave to take a same position?
Keys guy, this is the thing. Flores already interviewed in Chicago, and guess what? Brian Flores had a teammate at one point. Guess who it was? Guess what his name is? Give you a hint. It rhymes with Ryan Schmoles. Ryan Poles. They're close.
So Flores definitely has a shot here. And he should. Also, I want to point out that Mike Tomlin came out and endorsed.
Yeah, so he's the best guy available by a wide margin. Yeah.
He's the best head coaching candidate available by a wide effing margin.
Somebody had Lincoln Riley in there, and I'll take this as however you want. Lincoln Riley's agent is who? Trace Armstrong. Putting that out there.
Shanahan, I love Kyle Shanahan. I've always loved Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
is he going to be available? I have no. I don't.
There's
think so.
No. Come on.
Who would let him go?
Come on. Yeah, exactly. San Francisco's got a lot of things to worry about. Head coach right now isn't one of them. Stefanski's going to be involved. I'll tell you right now, he will be involved.
Who? Stefanski?
Yeah.
He's getting fired?
I think Cleveland's going to move on from him. Yeah, I do. He'll be involved.
I didn't say who said. I said I love Shanahan. I don't think he's available.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, Money Mitch. I
That's,
think
it's
they like
it's Mitchell Trubisky.
My Coles model and George Joffrey McCaskey. That's who he is. Like, I look at George. I've been around George. There's a picture of me and George in my office. Chris Jackal almost put a red nose on George's face today. He was so fired. He's like, how do you leave this up there? I leave it up there. I met him. I leave it up there as motivation, fully knowing that this guy has to turn and get to where he needs to be. I don't know. I need maybe a voodoo priestess to get George to do the right thing. Something's got to change. Something's got to change. Vrabel, yes, he's in there. I know what his identity is. I wouldn't touch Deion Sanders with 600-meter poles. Not at all. Stefanski, I like actually a lot. I think he's a good coach. He's had a terrible situation fall on him.
Yeah.
Kingsbury, I believe, he's best served as an offensive coordinator.
But again,
I love the dude from Iowa State.
Again, Phil, why is everybody is excited about Kingsbury? Because he was a year in USC with Caleb, and they feel like Jaden Daniels is the next best thing because of Cliff Kingsbury. And just like Caleb's story isn't written, either is Jaden Daniels.
100%. I'm going to put this question up for you for your reaction.
Oh, God.
You ready?
That's what I want. Go ahead. No.
Yeah.
And I will refer all Dayball questions to one Mr. Bullets, who's been banging the table for years for Brian Dayball. And I tried telling him I hated him in Alabama. Nobody was upset when he was gone. No. Hard fucking no.
When I saw Dayball's name for me and you, I'm like, just give this one.
Everybody just look in the comments in the chat, because we'll see what Bullets chimes in with on his boy Dayball.
I really honestly think Flores comes in with a plan.
Well, you can think, Phil. You have.
I know who his offensive coordinator is going to be.
Let's not pretend like these guys aren't fucking.
From what I've heard, his OC, and I can't say, I think it would be tremendous.
Yeah, Bullets. I could probably bring you up.
Bullets was all in on
35 text messages over the years from Bullets on Dayball, and me going back and forth with him. Yeah, nope. No. Hard pass. And what made me laugh was on Hard Knocks, the Giants won when they're in the draft room and they're getting ready for their huge pick, and it's Brian Dayball's birthday, and he's floating on a raft in his pool because he didn't come into work on his birthday. That made me laugh. It's like, oh, okay. Just gonna take the day, guys. It's my birthday. And fuck the draft prep. You guys do your thing.
Oh, Dayball. Signetti is definitely on my list.
Hey, I talked to everybody. I talked to everybody.
Oh, of course. I thought you were going to say something about Signetti. Yeah, you talk to everybody.
I know who Signetti is. I think you 100% have to talk to him. But listen, can we be fucking honest? First time guys in the NFL, it's like drafting a quarterback in the 2025 NFL draft. Have fucking fun and pray that it fucking works out. Because guess what? It's a wing and a prayer a lot of times. I mean, will you uncover Andy Reid? Or is it going to be Matt Nagy? Or is it going to be Mark Trestman, or is it going to be Dick Duran, or is it going to be Matt Eberflus? You don't know. Again, you guys have heard me say 1,000 times. When we drafted Kevin White, we thought we had our wide receiver 1 for the next 10 to 12 years. So you just write that. That's done. Got him. We're golden. Same thing's going to happen when the Bears fire Eberflus and you get the new guy. There's going to be a romantic period. Everybody's going to fall in love. And then by week 6, when Phil says, oh, fuck, they fucked it up again, everybody's going to be like, oh, fuck you, Phil. You gotta give him time. Then year 2 comes, oh, fuck you, Phil. He's got to get the shit that he wants. Year 3 comes, oh, fuck you, Phil. And then get to the end of year 3 and you're like, well, you know what, Phil, you were right. Nobody's taking more bullets than Phil with that shit. Matt Nagy was coach of the year and Phil was saying that he needed to be replaced. Nobody wanted to listen to it. Nobody.
They thought I was crazy. And that
do I like the thoughts of Brian Flores? I do. Do I like the thoughts of Kevin Stefanski? I do. In theory, do I like the thoughts of Brian Johnson? Sure. You bringing Detroit's offensive line over here? Pretty big fucking deal.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to call plays when you got a great line.
Yeah,
it
is.
When you don't have a great line, that's when I can tell you.
Who's your offensive line coach? Who's it going to be? Things like that.
Does Ben Johnson command a room?
Exactly. Is his hands going to shake when he's on the sidelines? Because he's already said he's calling plays.
Vic Fangio, great coordinator, not great head coach. I can go down a list of all these guys that are really good coordinator. Rod Marinelli, great coordinator, great defensive line coach, not great head coach. It's a whole different ball game. That's why I've always said it's right there with quarterback. It's more important than quarterback because you can't build a culture of winning with a guy that's a fucking loser. He's absolute albatross of losing. He's fucking just everything about him smells loser. Spells it, smells it, all the senses. You can hear loser. Everything. The 3 monkeys just sit there, eyes, ears, and nose, covered when he fucking talks. And I wouldn't even put him in a great category of a defensive coordinator. I thought he was average to good. Average to good. That's why with Flores, I think great defensive coordinator. He's got head coaching experience. Did the thing that needed to be done. You own that shit. You know what? I fucked up. This dude might have been the biggest prima donna in the world down there. Tua. But you got to handle him right. You have to handle him right. The fact that you stood up and said you were wrong, I got to be better than that. Good. Because Tua did the other thing too. He threw your fucking laundry in the street. So you handled it the right way. It's just sad that we're just dealing with somebody that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over.
Chicago Bears.
It's the Bears. And we all suffer for the losing softness. You have so much that you are so afraid of somebody with a big personality, a big ego. Like, that should be the fucking sign to get you in the door.
He's 77 years old. True.
The big answer is absolutely not. with Wade Phillips.
He could hook up with Virginia at this point. I mean, she needs a younger man in her life, right? 104, 77.
It's just the Chicago Bears. It's just when I look at the lack of effort being okay for weeks.
Well, just pivot a little bit, Phil. Let me ask you this. What do you think happens when this season is over? This is the way that I look at it. And I do agree with Greg. Greg and I talked a little bit about this. If there is any morsel of a chance that they move off from Flus in season, it's going to be after the Thanksgiving game, because that's when you have your mini bye. That's going to give you the maximum amount of time to scramble, get things in place. If it doesn't happen, then it's not going to happen in season. So you got 2 games. You got a game Sunday, and then you're turning right around. You're playing on Thursday. It's not great. We know how that is. So if you get, let's just say you get boat raced by Minnesota, and then you go up to Detroit, and the fucking wheels fall off even more. That's the opening for the Bears to do something that they've never done before. And if it doesn't happen, then to me, he's here for the rest of the season. So with that being said, Phil, let's say he's here to the end of the year. Black Monday comes. What is your call on what you think Kevin Warren does with the Bears? And I'm talking about from everybody below Kevin Warren. What do you think happens? Not what you want, but what you think will happen.
I'll tell you, I would be shocked if he fired Poles.
I agree.
I definitely 100% know Eberflus is gone. So I don't know why they would wait, but they do, and they think so. Well, we'll just play your game. Eberflus will be fired. Mr. Poles will get an opportunity to hire the next head coach. And thus, we have to not just go into the same model. That's why I wish Ryan Poles would step to the podium and say whether he did or didn't hire Flus. I think a lot of people have this story about it, but no matter who you are out there, I'm telling you right now, D Dunn, anybody, come back. Matt Eberflus will be fired Black Monday, 100%. There you go. That's what's going to happen. And Kevin Warren gave this opportunity to Ryan Poles. We were told this. Kevin Warren wanted Eberflus fired last year. And it would have been the right thing. And you would have seen the direction, whether it be Harbaugh or whatever, you would align with a young quarterback, a culture, a direction, and hopefully build an identity together. If it was a coordinator, if it was a head coach, you would hope they would find that guy that steps into the building and has an identity. He's an alpha guy. So you could quote me on it. Flus, loosey goosey, fucking psychopath Flus, all of them gone. Why they wait, I don't know. I don't know what he brings to the table whatsoever. The locker room doesn't respect him, despite what you hear. They didn't even like him last year. Oh, no.
Well, we got word that Kevin Warren wanted him gone.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
But Poles stood for the guy. So that's why I'm even, he would be.
Do you want to address Keys guy? Because this is a question that we get a lot.
I listen to people talk about this. When you get the guy that stands in front of the room and no one's listening out of there with somebody else that has the ear of the players, it changes things. It changes things. So who that guy is in that locker room, that coaching staff, is on them. But it's no different than what you saw in Thomas Brown handling the offense the way he did, having the communication with the quarterback quickly, getting plays into his ear, sitting up top, looking at a fucking defense, not your fucking Denny's diner menu. Having it laid out, looking at their fronts, seeing the personnel, knowing the personnel, knowing what they do in situations, and thus trying to attack their weaknesses by out leveraging them, using the appropriate personnel, and running in situation. Now, was Thomas Brown perfect? No, he wasn't. I don't like the gun runs in critical down. I don't buy into that stuff. He did get under center, I would believe, way more than all of the other coordinators combined. So that's a good step in the right direction. But that's why no one's listening to Eberflus. His attempt at, I'll just tell you this straight up. I know coach speak. So when he points back into the camera and says, those guys in there, they get it. We're together in there. That's trying to butter up their ass. You've lost the locker room, bro. They're begging for accountability. You've lost the locker room, bro. Shouldn't have to beg. Should be a prerequisite. I've been around this game my whole life. I love this game of football. I don't understand how you think that a president, so this guy has a lot of money and he bought this amazing thing that's so imperative to the population. It'll be tremendous. It'll be bought. But if the guy does the wrong things because he's a fucking dumbass, then the greatest product in the world can
You're
come.
wrong, Jesus. I don't. You're laughably wrong. In fact,
it's Jesus.
Or Jesus. Either one.
Go dine on that, Jesus. It isn't David Kaplan.
No.
Oh my God. You know, when Jalen Johnson comes out, like SAP is saying, you got the locker room coming out and talking about things. You have the dysfunction with the walking out of Stevenson. You have the doubling down on stupidity with the 13 yards, the refusal to take a timeout, the losing on a Hail Mary, the energy, the positive energy that you had coming out of Jacksonville to lose to Washington based on your coaching decisions and coaching malpractice destroys belief. Not just from the fans, from the guys that are putting on their lives on the line out there. They don't believe in this guy. So why Keys guy is because you have a soft owner that thinks there's some fucking badge of honor in his umpiring fucking Boy Scout world. Somehow his family has come to the fruition that keeping a coach sends a great message to the other shitty coaches that Bill Pulley and Ernie Accorsi are going to tell us to hire. It's not how it fucking works, bozo. Start fucking rattling some asses. I'm not asking you to be the fucking Raiders and do it every fucking 8 months. I'm asking you to fucking recognize a shoe salesman, get the right people in there, stop being afraid of alpha men, and start understanding where it is you need to go as an organization, not just because you want a fucking new stadium, but because you want to win. Don't come in with this bullshit. You still have that video? She's pissed off. And there's Ted Phillips shaking his head like Milhouse from Simpsons, looking like a goddamn jackass that he is and will always be. How you got? She's pissed off. It's fucking crazy, these people. They're afraid Andy Reid was out there when Lovie Smith was out there. They didn't even interview him. They didn't even interview him.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
There it is.
George is 5'6", by the way.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's six. I think he's 6'1", he said 6'2".
I don't think he's. I got a picture with him too. I don't think he's. Maybe he can.
She's
say
pissed off, Phil.
Yeah, let me go look because we
She's
took what
pissed off.
we took a picture with him in Buffalo when
He had the
he was
breaking
there.
news. We've documented the history of the Chicago Bears. They wanted Nick Saban.
Yeah, he would. He probably is.
They wanted Nick Saban. He told me that he was.
Yeah,
because I was surprised how tall he is.
They wanted Nick Saban. Yeah, the Bears.
Yes, the Bears wanted Nick. Jerry Angelo. They had a deal.
Yeah.
And it can't. No, the money was almost there. It was Jerry Angelo wouldn't give up the fucking personnel choices. This is who they are. Jesus Christ. You're not going to hit on all of the draft picks. And sometimes you're going to hit on draft picks. Okay. But if you like lay it out on a table and you put colors to the priority, coaching is whatever color you put as the number one thing. They have failed every time. They have failed. And that can't be debated. It can't be debated.
Keys guy, we just actually talked about that. Did you know that Matt Eberflus was interviewed before Ryan Poles was even hired? And who is
knows that?
Who is this the silent guy in all of this? Is Trace Armstrong, who has Mr. McCaskey's ear. And your general manager is a Armstrong client. Your head coach is an Armstrong client. The offensive coordinator that you just turned your franchise over to was an Armstrong client. Oh, yeah, by the way, Luke Getsy was an Armstrong client. It's the good old boy network, like we've said. And it starts all the way up at the top.
And it trickles down, Keys guy, like the shit on your boat. Stop asking these questions of incompetence. You know it. Just like Juan G. Juan G looks like he's in the corporate world. Talent cannot overcome this level of incompetence with coaching and management. And he's 100% right. A great coach can create.
Juan G did these overlays. Not this Juan G, our other Juan G.
Mike Tyson's Juan G. Juan G. Where is Ron G?
Well, thanks, Jesus. I'm glad we have a pretty amazing track record. So I think that's a fucking asshole comment. I love you guys, but I don't think
what says the chat about Jesus go dine your ass somewhere else and what is that game?
It's just dumb.
What is that
comments
game
like that?
playing? Roblox or Minecraft?
Minecraft, yeah.
He's fucking playing Minecraft with his sources. He probably believes
we got a pretty good track record, Jesus. So maybe just listen better. It's fine. If you don't believe us, that's fine too. Go, like I said, go play Minecraft. It's cool.
Play some Minecraft, bro. Build Hallis Hall for us on Minecraft. We'll play it. Promise you. Floose is weak and easy to manipulate, says Gerbon. $5 super chat. Now that he's been labeled a coward for a week, he will overcompensate against Minnesota and be stupid aggressive. I think Gerbon might be right. It wasn't just me pointing out on BHL that his quarterback, who's a rookie, is demanding that he have some fucking onions, Greg. It wasn't just me seeing it. It was the entire team. It was the entire stadium, including our good friend Kerry Franklin, who was once again brave enough to travel back to Chicago to watch the Bears.
Flores is not, unless he's recently changed agents. He's not an Armstrong guy.
Anthony, you would be the guy that I would even ask that. Because Anthony Gordon always gives us the insight. But he's not our source, Jesus. Anthony Gordon is not the guy.
It's the same with the YouTube comments, Phil. You kind of know the pattern. It's I love you guys. I love TTNL. And then when there's the ... with the but is coming next. Always makes me laugh.
You can't win. You can't win. Carrie says Drew has a good question. Great question, Drew. Let's see Drew's question.
Well, again, it goes back to everybody's got to sharpen their listening skills. The Bears interviewed Matt Eberflus before Ryan Poles was even hired. Does it sound familiar? Does it sound like what Ryan Pace went through? Got a brand new squeaky clean GM. Here's the list of coaches that Ernie likes. Oh, Bill Polian is there in place. And where did Bill come from? Don't forget, Bill Polian, where was he? In Indy. By the way, where was Matt Eberflus? In Indy.
Could we harmonize like pentatonics with these answers?
Try.
You're either a fan of pentatonics or you're not a fan of pentatonics. That is the smartest thing I'm going to say to you, Jesus.
Pace's guy wasn't Dan Quinn, by the way. It was Todd Bowles.
Ryan Pace. He's talking about.
Yeah. Pace's guy was Todd Bowles. That's who we wanted to hire.
Todd Bowles.
Yep.
Is there a way to go back and look at all the coaches that were interviewed? Because there was several.
Oh, there is. I mean, yeah, of course there is. But I mean,
I just want to remember some of the names this back because Dan Quinn interviewed.
Yeah, Dan Quinn interviewed.
But he said to one of my former teammates at Hofstra, "There's no way those pussies will hire me." Was his exact quote.
Yeah.
Jackal, where the fuck are you? Oh my God. Are you coming on, Jackal?
Come on, Jackal.
You have some fans that want to see you. Do you think he'll pick up if I call him?
You can try. I bet you
Try him.
won't.
He just says Chris on his phone. He's got a nice picture. Heart for Whalers. He knows. He's like, motherfucker. He's probably laying with one of his sons trying to put him to sleep. That's always his
Your call
go-to.
has been forwarded to voicemail.
What
the
the
person you're trying to
Jump on the show. Corn planter misses you.
So I'm just looking real quick. Ryan Pace interviewed Vic Fangio for the head coaching position.
Yep.
He interviewed
was the
George Edwards.
George Edwards
from Minnesota. Oh, this was 2022. Here's an actual tracker of guys that
are just the good old boys. I never wasting no time. They all hire from the Armstrong line. I need to come up with a fucking parody.
So Ryan Poles interviewed Bills DC Leslie Frazier.
Leslie Frazier.
Yeah. Bucks offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah. This is going through everybody, but yeah, it's
Byron Leftwich. Where is he right now?
Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen fired.
Jim Caldwell, Dan Quinn.
Dennis was in the final round, probably. Jim Caldwell, Dan Quinn.
Matt Eberflus got a second
Leslie Frazier
interview.
Yep. Just a good old boy.
Bears interviewed Brian Flores. Interview was completed. Dan Quinn, like we said.
I never wasted no time.
Todd Bowles again, like we said. Nathaniel Hackett. Bullet
As
dodged.
long as you don't swear, there's a chance for you on the McCaskey line. Just the good old boys.
Brian Dayball.
Right.
Doug Peterson.
Douglas. King of Queens. We got to get the parody songs going. Me and fucking Braggs got fucked by Waddle and
I just
Sylvie.
thought about that today. They have to be in by December. They have to be in
totally
too long. Too long.
Braggs.
They have to be in by December
Too
6th.
long. You guys said it was too long.
Yeah.
I'm like, we sang the whole song for fun. Like, cut it to the 28-second, whatever the fuck you want. I mean, Adam Abdallah might be the most annoying fucking listen I've ever. I mean, it is up there. It is pancake level annoying. Honestly, I don't know the guy, but he takes the opposite road of where I take every time.
He's an Alabama guy, so I'll give him that.
Oh my God. Don't make the same mistake you did with Harbaugh by not talking to him.
Oh, you got to, like I said, you have to be calculated, but you can be
I would
calculated
never
and cast a wide
hire
net.
Deion Sanders in a lifetime.
No fucking way.
Not in a lifetime, nor would he ever come here. He's going wherever his son is. That's him.
Or he's going to Dallas,
where he'll demand that they draft his son.
They just fucking paid Dak $60 million, bro.
They will do it. They're so fucking obnoxious.
Yeah, Deion Sanders during the draft process will be everything that people assumed Carl Williams was.
100%. That's number one. And I have a long list of fucking Deion drama. Just not a fan. Not a fan. Let's see what he does when he plays a good team. Well, his schedule, he landed on the right schedule. I'll tell you that.
So I just got a text, and we will
Mike
share
Vrabel.
this from Mr. Yeah,
I've been talking about Mike Vrabel. He's definitely in. He's definitely in.
So there is legitimate talk out there that Mike Vrabel might or could expect to be the next head coach
of the Browns,
of the Cleveland Browns. He's on staff there, and then that would push Stefanski out.
But how are you going to sell Stefanski to these fucking meatball fans?
Look what he went to the playoffs last year, Phil, and started like 5 fucking quarterbacks. He did.
I know. I like Stefanski. I do.
Was that another dude that wanted Genty drafted in the first round?
It's your boy Swanky's back, bro.
Yeah,
he's late. We've already answered this shit. Wait, Jackal text. There's a Jackal update.
Yeah.
He's talking right now to his wife about a personal punishment.
Oh boy.
Come on, fans need Jackal. There's a new movie called Jackal.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, you only think of one Chris Jackal. There's got to be somebody out there.
Yeah.
Like, Kevin Warren is the hope. Yeah. Kevin Warren's got to be the guy that translates my curse words to George. You have to get somebody that's you're going to feel uncomfortable with.
I'm a little bit with Muck on this. I think he's a good dude, but I do think he's a touch overrated. I do. I would have to know a whole bunch more about who he's going to bring on staff and run it.
You think he would do what happened on Sunday?
Oh no! I don't think that would happen.
That's how. And these fucking morons in the.
I'm not hiring a
hiring on Monday.
I'm not hiring a head coach because he just says, "All right, I'm gonna try to get more yards on second down." I mean, that's a pretty low fucking bar. I mean, that's like saying
we've gone low.
Cocaine. Don't do cocaine at halftime, and I'll hire you. You know what I mean? That's
Adam Gase.
The same thing. Yeah.
We had Adam Gase here,
staring at the taco going across the screen.
Adam Gase was here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm
on Kingsbury, kind of like how I am with Vrabel. I think people are intoxicated by the Jaden Daniels aspect of it, and he was with Caleb for a year, and not even he was a consultant. I forget exactly what his title was, but he wasn't.
He was like,
not even on the staff every day. Yeah, it was
like quarterback assist. He had some offensive assistant. We'll just call it that.
I'm with Phil more so that with him being like a
He's a good OC
type guy. I would
give him like 2-3 years, then he'll be ready to be a head coach again.
Yeah.
I agree with, I don't know what punters need to realize Mike Vrabel had a horrific GM. I think he meant people. I agree with Scottish Bear here. Not about the punters, but about people. I think he had a shitty hand down there.
Oh, he did. He did, but
I
he didn't.
think he would come in here with an identity, bring a great coaching staff and a culture with the expectation of
Who
playing.
was his OC in Miami? Does anybody in the chat know? Tell me, having
It wasn't him. It was in Tennessee.
Oh no, I was talking about Flores. My bad. You were talking about Vrabel, and
I'm talking about Vrabel.
Yeah,
Flores, I am hyped about. I don't care.
I
It's
don't
gotta
care
be a
either.
great
It's just
leader.
I need to. Yeah, first and foremost, they need to be a leader, and then I need to see who their coaching staff is. That's precisely why a guy like Dave Tobe, who's been a lifer in the NFL and been one of the very best at his craft, but he is interviewed all over the place and hasn't gotten a head coaching.
It was Chan Gailey?
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, I
Chan
do remember
Gailey.
that. Yep.
Fucking former Steeler.
Don't love that.
Chan Gailey.
Where was I just talking about?
Someone gave him that advice, like bring in a veteran guy that has called plays in the NFL. That's where Chan Gailey. God, I haven't heard Chan Gailey.
Yeah.
Didn't he have Arthur Smith too? Was that? Or am I wrong?
He might have been, man. It's hard enough following all these Bears fucking guys, let alone the Miami Dolphins. I mean, Jesus.
Did he have Terry Shea?
We did.
Let me go down the list of
Here's a question for you. Has Torrey Taylor lived up to the hype? I don't think he has.
I mean,
I don't think he has.
I think he's done a great job.
He's been, yeah. I don't think he's lived up to the hype that was placed on him. I mean, maybe that's too hard, but that was one of the things that I'm thinking about. He's had some nice punts and stuff like that. The hype around him was bonkers, you know?
So let's go back in time. Time to go back, way back in time. Bears coaches, Shane.
Mm-hmm.
In 1942.
God.
Why
are we going there?
We had Hunk Anderson, Shane.
Great. Yep.
But we are listed with two head coaches.
Yeah.
Luke Johnson and Hunk Anderson. Who was the head coach?
Don't know.
36 and 23. 36 and 23. Patty Driscoll.
Yeah.
1956. He was 24 and 14. And he was fired. George Halas comes back 1958 through 67. Wins the NFL championship in 1963. He was 134 and 75. Then Jim Dooley is 1968 through 1971, 56 and 20. Abe Gibron. I'm sorry, he wasn't 56 and 20. Reading it wrong on the wrong line. Jesus.
Want to answer that?
Jim Dooley was 20 and 36. No.
Your face was lit. You looked like a...
because I'm reading this bright-ass page. So Jim Dooley was 20 and 36. Abe Gibron, 11 and 30. Right? Considered the worst coach all time for the Bears.
Well,
right now
you might have company.
Dick Duran, do you remember what his record was?
Oh God, you mean he was like choice D for them? That was the
That was the fucking Nick
Yeah.
Saban.
Well, no, Nick Saban
No, it
was the
said
Lovie
Lovie
Smith.
Smith. You're right.
Yeah, Dick Duran was the Dave
Dave
McGinnis.
McGinnis. Thank you. Do you remember his record, Dick Duran?
Oh, fuck no.
35 and 45.
Yeah. With a big 13-3 in 2001 and a bow out to the Philadelphia Eagles, which would have been the final game of the original
Coach of the year, Shane.
Soldier Field.
2001.
Yeah.
Mark Trestman. Do you remember what his record?
Oh God. No, I don't keep track of it. It wasn't good.
It's good to look at these numbers.
His first year was his best year.
Guess what his record was?
We won 8. And then what did he win the next year? 4? 12? Did he have 12 wins?
You're close. 13 and 19. For a winning percentage of 406.
Nice.
John Fox, 14 and 34. Worse than Trestman at .291. But
you know what I remember most about the John
31.
Fox years was the Thanksgiving night game in Lambeau. That was the Tracy Porter game. They won. They went up to Lambeau and won. Was that in the Brett Favre retirement? Might have been.
That year? No, that was in Champaign.
No. That wasn't Brett Favre. You're thinking of, that Champaign. They played in Champaign in fucking 2002, bro. Brett was.
You said the Brett Favre retirement year. That's when we retired.
No, their retirement ceremony.
Oh, the ceremony.
No, that was
his jersey.
That wasn't 2002, dude, when they retired him. That was Corey Wooten in 2010.
I know. We were playing in Champaign when it happened.
Oh, that was, I forgot about the.
Remember? It was snowy.
Yeah.
Snowy, wet, rainy snow. Well, Matt Eberflus has a winning percentage of .294.
Wasn't that but we were in Minnesota, right?
Because you're right. It was. The roof caved in.
Yeah.
That was right.
But yeah, the Thanksgiving game.
How was that the University of Minnesota?
I thought the Bears turnaround under Fox was going to start with that game.
Tracy Porter.
Yeah. Yep. But it wasn't at
Didn't Bryce Callahan have a pick in the end zone or batted the ball?
I think he broke up the fourth down play.
Final play.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a pathetic list.
That was the same game. Yeah. Hester up the right
the
sideline.
Lumens are back 10 and 24. Matt Eberflus. You really know how to pick them.
And we're almost 2 hours in, and we haven't even had a Chris Foster calling us dirty cunts like he went off on BHL. Yeah, see, low snows.
Low snows.
See, I was right.
West Coast Los. West Coast Los. That's what you need to change your name to. Los.
Yeah.
West Coast Los. East Coast Los.
So Ivan will not be with us tonight. He ran into some vehicle issues once again.
Jacqueline Ivan.
Can't tell you where Cherie is.
Cherie's a no call, no show.
Yeah. Cherie's a no call, no show.
At a date.
Yeah, it could be. So
we got a bigger strip.
Well, you never know. Don't judge. Ivan sent in his prediction, though. And I'll bet you. Do you have any guesses on what Ivan Vargas's prediction is for Bears versus Vikings?
I have no. I would say
yes.
38.
Ivan had vehicle issues.
38-13 Vikings.
Ivan Vargas picked the Chicago Bears 23,
Mm-hmm.
the Minnesota Vikings 20.
Oh, he's
I
picking
was
the
surprised.
Bears?
I was surprised.
Where did his rant go?
Vehicle problems may have been him snorting large amounts of cocaine off the hood.
Angelo.
Yes.
Can you tell us what happened with Ivan's picks, Angelo? I'm in shock.
Yeah.
More shocked than cars deleting Twitter.
He did. Yeah,
I'm more shocked about Ivan's pick.
He made the switch. But so should we get into this right now real quick?
I mean, if I'm going to root for a team, I want to give it all I got.
Next play. Pass. 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 Pass.
There was no rhyme or reason.
Drove down the field. Mr. Montgomery breaks a huge run. If he scores on the run, you don't got to worry. But you do got to worry because he gets tackled at the freaking 15.
There was no rhyme or
Next play.
Bold prediction. Phil.
That song was produced by me, Shane. So you
Yes.
can always play the whole thing.
We can always play the whole
Yes.
thing. Gotta get the D mode. We gotta clean up some of our intros and
I don't even
get out Tyson Bagent and
yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But do you have a prediction and a bold prediction for our game?
Prediction. I'm not a big Tito wants bear up, bear down back. He wants it all.
It's all bear down, Tito. I mean,
This was a big bear down week, Tito. Bear down. Bears are the bear down. The Vikings are very beatable.
Yeah, that would be a banger right there, Peyton.
I cannot put money in fans' lives with Matt Eberflus as the head coach. I'm going to go 24-20 Vikings. 27-20. Let me change that. 27-20.
I just called Hallis Hall and they agree with Jesus. Seven times.
You
I
had
just called Hallis Hall. Yeah, I called our
You
non-existent person at Hallis Hall, and they said
they agree with Jesus.
Yeah. Let me see what Ken thinks.
Hold on. Get him on the phone. 24-14. Vikings bold prediction. Eberflus gets fired after the game. I've never called a perfect prediction. So Bears finally fire mid-season.
There you go. We'll hold you to it, Ben.
Chi-Town Menace. He's calling 12-9. All field goals. All field goals.
That would be a Bears type game, wouldn't it?
Mark Collins. Not to be confused with the former Giants cornerback, Mark Collins.
There you go.
17-20 Vikings. We got to have former Bear Dante Jones back on and Lemuel.
Yeah. They need their own show together.
That would be a fucking great show. What would they call it? Already?
Already. Yeah.
That should be the name of the show, Lemuel. How about you and Dante? On
Already with Jones and Stinson.
Yes. Already with Jones and Stinson.
Yeah, they can smoke their cigars live on air.
My guy A.O. Max, he's producing music. He's getting it ready.
Oh, big changeover coming.
Come on, A.O. Max. We need you.
Yep.
Orange Bear. 20-14. Burrs. How do you do the accent? The Chicago accent. Is that where it is? Burrs? Oh, anybody.
Not really Burrs. It's Bears.
Bears.
You draw out the S. Yeah.
Bars.
I get so fucking
Where
sick
is it
of that.
from? Is it like a Canadian mix?
People send me like the you know, the one dude that puts on like the Ditka mustache and then does like the songs every week, like the parody.
Oh my
It's
god!
I think it's the lamest.
When someone
fucking
sends me that
shit.
guy,
I don't even fucking play it. It's
He's
the
such-
weakest fucking shit.
oh
ever.
my god!
I don't. People.
I totally agree. And
Some
we've
people
never
are like,
talked
"Oh
about
my god, this shit is so funny," and it's with the lame fucking Chicago.
Chris Gonzalez
accent.
loves it. I bet.
Probably.
I would be willing. Who else do you
Gotta
know
get these
that would
guys
love-
on the Blackout show.
Who else do you know that would love that? That like,
Yeah,
Bullets
Dave-
might love that.
Dave
I'm
Swirsky.
guessing
Yeah, not a fucking fan.
Bullets
at
might
all.
like Dave Swirsky because
It's like-
Bullets doesn't think Angelo's funny.
Who's the dude on Hogan Johns when they do the fucking call in line? Who's the
I have
fucking-
not
the one-
listened to their
The
show.
one fucking
like,
dude that
either.
always does the Chicago accent. Somebody in the chat will have it. He's got a name. He's on there every fucking week, and he's like, "Yo, Hoagie Johns, Johnsy Bears. Yeah, the Bears. 275. The
There it is.
Vikings 6. Yeah, Bob Dabowski. That shit. It's so fucking unfunny and lame.
When you do it, it's great.
Yeah. Well, it's because I have comedic.
You got a
timing.
good Chicago accent there, mister. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Hogue. Hey, Johns. Ketchup on a hot dog. Let's go. Trevor LaMarche. I just want to start doing last names now. Josh Lorenzen. Is he related to Jared?
Jared, yes, that's third cousin.
Josh, are
Rest
you
in-
guys fucking rest in peace to your
Jared.
cousin?
Yeah, the hefty lefty.
The hefty lefty. If you're
Oh, if he could have only played for the Bears,
if
Phil.
he could play for the Bears,
Yeah, he could pound
He
down
could
some
kick-
hoagies. Yeah. The Italian beefs with Juan G up by O'Hare.
yes.
Oh, Juan G's favorite Italian beefs. You know what they are? All of them. He fucking loves them. Give me them all.
Look, he does love Swirsky.
Of course,
I told
he does.
you he
Of
fucking
course
does.
He does. Of course,
Fuck
he does.
that, Bullets.
It's not like he's rewatching the World Series.
Bullets probably had a dangling earring back in the
He
80s.
did with
I
a
bet
cross
you
on
the
it.
fucking
You fucking
Oh,
see
John.
this? John, you fucking see this?
the dangling cross with a bandana,
He's got a fucking bullet hanging off of it.
a bullet is earring, a giant bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you goddamn right, Swirsky. It's funny.
Oh,
The Bears did bomb another one. Vikings, West Coast Los, 27, Bears 23.
Josh, you're related. You are now.
Come on,
we fixed it.
Josh. We love you, Josh.
It is.
That's a good. Is that like? Is he on a path?
I was just gonna say, it's like he's
Hiking?
he's like near a creek, and he's gonna
creek?
fucking jump in a.
Don't jump in the Swirsky Lake.
No, he's gonna
Oh,
jump in like a fucking whitewater raft.
Yes.
There's a crazy fucker
Moving.
from LA with a bullet hanging from his ear chasing me. I got to get in my white water raft and get the fuck out of here. Yeah, see, I'm a Mike, man. Shit's weak as fuck.
It's cool. On occasion, when Chris Farley does it,
Yeah.
it's fucking great.
Oh, I'm glad I don't have it, Christopher. I'm glad. I fucking
Listen,
hate all that
how
shit.
come Jim Larison doesn't have it?
He does.
He does?
Yeah, he pays people to talk that way because Larison's got so much cash. He just pays guys to talk in a Chicago accent all day long.
But he does
around
not
him.
have an accent.
Oh yeah, I've heard it.
You've heard his accent?
Oh, it's so fucking good.
I don't hear his accent at all.
Oh my god, Greg, droning on and on. Shut the fuck up, dude.
There's no Chicago.
No.
There's no Chicago accent there. I don't think. Have we ever got anybody on here that spoke with one?
We probably must have. Pulling
Rolls
into a
down
bike
the
trail,
window.
not a street.
Thickest-
He pulls up, rolls his window down with the thickest Chicago accent and says, "What are you doing?"
What you there doing, bud?
That sounds like Minnesota.
They're close to me.
Yeah.
I can't do the Chicago accent. Who else? Yes, that's probably. I knew. Thank God we played that night.
Oh God. I actually forgot we even did that because that was when I remember asking him when he was on. I'm
What
like,
was
"Oh,
that?"
dude. Oh, he sounds Russian. Yeah, he does."
He was like, what was that? Like he got out of funny. He got nervous and it was great.
I don't even have that readily available.
Oh my God. We have to get that clip.
I have it on my phone.
I'm ready to come back on the show.
October is over.
How are you? I love when he does that. Coach Phil, how are you?
Oh God, some of these old fucking clips, man. We might have to bring some of these back.
Gotta bring some old ones back.
Jesus.
I have to change this up and go to a different thing.
Well, we're gonna be unveiling some new music. We might even be moving, right, Phil? We'll see.
Might even be moving.
Yeah.
Might even move.
Might even move.
We need the Chicago accent.
No, we don't.
And don't put ketchup on hot dogs.
No. I wouldn't even let my son do that when we were in Chicago.
I do.
I know you do, but come on.
Onions, grilled onions, ketchup, mustard, relish. Boom. Tell me it isn't fire once you try it. We missed the work that asked for daddy clip. It was a staple.
Yeah. We can't even do the Sharif fucking dance video anymore. Fucking clipping us for that, motherfuckers.
Thought it was what is it?
I found your car charger and I'm coming for you.
What the fuck?
Who's that?
What was
I
that?
have no idea. I don't even know.
What was that?
My hands were like right here. Dude sounded Russian.
Oh God, he did. Yeah.
The Russian mob.
Let me see if I can rewind that.
Mr. Angelo, I found your car charger and I'm coming for you.
Yeah, that's a little scary right there.
Look at him get up. Look at him get up. Oh my
Well, Phil, it's 10:37. Do we want to invite one person on for 5 minutes, or do we just want to say fuck everybody and get out of here?
Vladimir Kopon, as Christopher Allen would say.
Yeah.
One person? Are they ready to go?
I don't know. Is there anybody in the chat that's ready to go? First person that sends me a DM at Wazram on Twitter, very first one that wants to come on for 5 minutes and talk some ball.
5 minutes.
I'm refreshing.
Give me some fucking names.
Give me some fucking names.
I don't give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
Swanky wants to come on.
The blast from the past.
I can already
Swanky.
hear him. Elds, you'll never fucking believe what show I was on, Elds. It was the greatest night of my life, Al.
I found your car charger and I'm coming for you.
What the fuck?
Who's that?
What was that?
Who's that?
Hendrix is not on Twitter because it's for teens, we were told. Hendrix.
Well, Hendrix, you have something in common with Cars, who also is not on Twitter.
Not on Twitter.
And Phil, I'm also not on Twitter.
Well, everybody's telling us why they're not going to come on. I'm at work. I'm not on Twitter.
Teens. I'm good. I
have one DM from Bullets that just told me to fuck off. So I'm sure he doesn't want to come on, but
Jeepers creepers. I guess not. Cherie?
I love Cherie's mom.
Love Cherie's mom. Nobody wants to come on.
Swanky wants to do Swanky. Send me a DM if you want to come on. We'll have you on. Oh, we have an update.
We got an update.
All right.
Breaking news.
Sheree said, fuck both you guys. My super secret date is way more important than you fuck nuts. What's going on? So many people don't do X, right?
Nope.
This football, baby.
All right.
I've never been so waiting for this. You're pondering something.
I'm waiting for somebody.
Oh, I thought you had it.
No, Swanky said he wanted to come on, but I don't have his DM.
Why can't you say Instagram, Shane?
Holy fuck, Clintonio. All right, send me a DM on Instagram or send it to Phil. Jesus.
On TTNL.
Oh, wait, no.
Wait.
Here's Swanky. I'm going to out him. His name is David Swank. Hold on. Governments are thrown around? No. He's probably... Hold on, Swanky. I'm going to get... Sorry, Clintonio. No Instagram. I do have Instagram.
Corey Kennedy. Swanky.
Oh, God. And if you're a dick, Swanky, I'm just going to fucking block you again. Okay? So don't...
Carrie Franklin was late on arrival.
Carrie wanted to come on. Carrie's got an open invite. He doesn't even have to ask. He knows that.
Him and Bullets.
Swanky, have your shit ready. Microphone, headphones.
Microphone check 1 2. What is this?
Swanky, you now have the link in your DMs.
You got that link. Wait. Now, when I talk, can people hear well? Or
Carrie did. Carrie didn't actually send me a message. He actually tweeted directly at me. But
Shane,
that he said,
put me on.
Not a DM. Who
What
wants to come on? Who just said that?
Saying him. I was saying he tweeted that out. Yeah.
Right. We'll see how responsible Swanky is. Oh, look at him.
Here he comes.
Look at him.
Back from the deserts of unknown areas.
Al, you got show on yet, Al? Look at me. Look at me, Al. Look at me, Al.
Shane just throwing off the cuff today. Former big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Used
Let's
to
get the old 3 box up here.
3 box.
There he is. Oh, he's not prepared.
He's got
guarantee when I sent him that link, he did not have that. He did not have the hoodie on. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. Can you guys hear me?
There he is.
Turn your phone horizontally.
Oh, there's been issues.
There he goes
with the horizontal turns.
Yeah.
Swanky.
How we doing? Hey, I haven't. It has been a while. How are you guys? I missed you guys.
Good. Well, it's because you were a fucking greasy dick. That's why you weren't here.
I was. No, I will admit, I did have. Shane, I was a jerk, and I did like to push your buttons, but I always wanted to.
I have all the buttons over here.
Wait, Swanky's doing what Eberflus can't.
Yeah, I have better buttons than you over here, Swanky.
Yeah, that's true.
Just when you say it, then Foster comes out of the woodworks. That's so funny.
Oh, it's the same shit. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, we were trying to live. Bringing Swanky back.
Yeah, we have a little issue with our guy Chris. He's a little bit unstable.
We're just gonna.
He just likes to copy and paste. Yeah, just bounce him. Sorry, Chris. Back to Swanky.
Back to Swanky, who is coming clean.
Yeah. Did you have the hoodie on before I sent you the link? I feel like you put it on.
I did not. I actually did not. And this is, it's interesting. Is I did go to Kennesaw State University.
Really?
Really?
I did. Yep. And I when you guys were talking about that 7th rounder,
Bell
that we had,
Travis Bell.
I thought that was so cool. You guys really talked him up, and he went to so he went to Kennesaw, and I got to know a lot of people that went to high school with Justin Fields. So that was kind of cool. There were things that I learned about Justin Fields that I was like, I don't know if I want to make this guy a 5-year, $200 million man. But it was really cool to watch your guys' draft show, and I was probably 15 minutes from his house at the time. So that was a really cool experience being down there. And but yeah, Shane,
did
going back.
Did you streak past it with your barroom gear on?
Yeah.
I didn't. That's pretty funny. I did. And Shane, you're right. I was a little troll. I was.
You were.
And I come clean to that. In all honesty, I do like hearing what you guys have to say. And sometimes I think with Phil, sometimes I think I'll see the Bears have a terrible game, and then Phil, he's his emphasis, the way he thinks about football is very predicated on coaching and the coach has on a team. And then there, then there would be times where hey, say the Bears have a great game, and then I don't see Phil always give maybe the credit where it's warranted. So that's one of the things that I've always been like, Phil, sometimes I wish that the credit was given when it's due. But I think overall, I do enjoy listening to what you guys have to say about the Bears, because the biggest thing for me with you guys is I grew up in Chicagoland. And so I grew up in the homeland. I grew up in the west suburbs. I went to high school with Doug Kramer.
I thought you were going to say the west suburbs of Indiana.
Yeah.
You said you grew up in Chicagoland like Greg.
Yeah. I went to high school with Dougie Kramer. Went to high school with Thomas Ives. So I think you guys know some of those guys. Yeah. And yeah, Doug. Wow, Doug. Yeah, Tommy Ives, great athlete, man.
Receiver.
Oh yeah, great player. He, great athlete, and good family friends with the Iveses, and Doug as well. Doug built himself from the ground up. I mean, he was committed to Florida Atlantic, and then he at last minute walked on to Illinois. So he had to work. I mean, he worked his way from the ground up to get on the Bears. I mean, we used to talk Bears all the time. I got a hat on. I should have put that hat on, of a hat that he gave me. In the hallway, Doug came up to me, and he knew how big of a Bears fan I was and still am. And he goes, "Hey, Swank, you want a free Bears hat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So know those guys, and I think it's still going back.
Were you okay with me criticizing the coach for giving Doug the ball at the goal line?
Yeah, I was okay.
Yeah, you were okay with that. I want to know what game that they had a good game that I didn't.
No,
give them credit.
No, I think it's just in general, and I don't. That's maybe where my frustration was in the past, but I feel like I said
I was right about it all.
Isn't that more the fan though coming out? And I think that's the trap that we fall into, Swanky. Quite honestly, I think a lot of people people that we've had on the show don't like realize everything that goes on like behind the scenes and like what we do. And so many people reach out to Phil and I all the time, and they're like, "Oh, well, why don't you guys do? Where the fuck are Phil and Shane today? You know, there's breaking news. How come you're not on?" Well, we have everyday jobs just like everybody else does. We have young kids, you know, in our family and shit like that. And I think people, you know, invest all their fucking time in it, and then they hear Phil and Shane, and they're like, "Oh fuck, let's talk about that big play." And the Bears won by 2. Yeah. And they just want the sunshine and rainbow. I get it. It can be hard to digest. I've talked to Phil about that, but it's just there's so much fucking nonsense with this team, and you know not what has been sustainable, you know, to give you the positivity.
Right.
And it hasn't been there.
And you know what I think is so crazy? I mean, I started listening to you guys in 2019. The first episode was the week after Eddie Pinheiro, or that Eddie Pinheiro hit the game winner against the Broncos. And so I've been listening to you guys now for 5 years. And I just, it's so wild how much we always get in our own way. I think we always are our own worst enemy. Mm-hmm. And you just don't see, like, you know, why can't we just, you know, maybe operate as a normal franchise? You know, I just get it's very, very frustrating to me, because I mean, I grew up with Lovie Smith and the Lovie days. That's all I remember. I think the first season I remember was 2005. So I grew up and I watched competitive football. And I think since, was it George who took over the reins from Michael, it has been, I mean, you've gone from Mark Trestman to then they get uncomfortable with that. They go old school to John Fox, and then they want to make a jump, and they go to Nagy, and then they get uncomfortable and they go to Eberflus. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just so wild to me. Just, you know, here Caleb Williams is, you guys, he's going to have 3 offensive coordinators in 2 seasons. I want to add, I mean, that's for me, what kind of growth, I mean, or what kind of, is that going to stunt the growth of your young quarterback? I feel like it's going to.
If you get more of the wrong guys, it can. But I honestly, and people will take this and run with it and say that we're homers and, you know, Caleb apologists. I think he's good enough to overcome what he's dealt with this year. I do, because everybody's fixated on the touchdowns, and I get it. And he hasn't had a touchdown since London, but there's a comma that comes after that, you know, that he hasn't thrown the touchdowns. He hasn't melted down and had 2 picks, 3 picks, 4 picks, or, you know, 2 picks and a fumble. We saw that for the last 3 years. Maybe you'd get through a game without an interception, but then there was 2 fumbles. Mm-hmm. Shit like that. So I think Caleb is a godsend, what we needed. He's got a lot of work to do, has not been perfect. There's probably a lot of things behind the scenes that, hey, when he gets up in front of the team and takes, you know, onus to Shane Waldron getting fired and what he contributed to that, that's not something. He just turned 23, like what, 2 days ago? Yeah. That's hard for a kid to do. It is. He's the fucking dude up there at Hallis Hall. So can it restrict him? Yeah, it can. If you're going to surround him with the wrong people all the time, I think so. But we just did a whole show, and we just did a whole show essentially talking about coaches and never talked once about Caleb Williams being involved in the process. And guess what? He's going to be involved in the process. I don't think he's going to be handpicking the guy. I think he's going to be definitely involved. And that's when I asked Phil what he thinks is going to happen. I think the Bears are going to hire an offensive head coach. That's what I think.
And I want to make, this is a big point that I have to make, and I want all your viewers, I think they might agree with this. Ryan Poles didn't hire, and you guys touched on it earlier. Ryan Poles, he didn't hire Matt Eberflus. George McCaskey did. I think a lot of people need to let that sink in their bloodstream, because Kevin Warren, he doesn't have a thing to do with football operations. He's there for one thing: build the stadium. He is a mouthpiece for George McCaskey. He is going to be no different than Ted Phillips. So this
we hope not, but
you hope not. You hear Kevin Warren in his the season exit press conference. We're going to continue to be impatient by doing nothing. They hired Kevin Warren after they hired Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, and then
Swanky's been gone a long time. We talked about that. Yeah, it's what the Bears do. It's what they hired the offensive line coach and forced him on the offensive coordinator.
They play Jenga backwards.
Yeah,
they do.
And I just moved to Indianapolis 2 months ago from downtown Chicago for my job. And I look down the street from me, and there's a big statue of Peyton Manning. It breaks my heart because I have nightmares about that rainy night down in Miami. So it was hard at first to be here and have to have those feelings still inside me. But
yeah, you want to know something about that statue of Peyton Manning?
Mm-hmm.
So leading up to the 98 draft, the Bears went on a 3-game win streak at the end of the season. And if they hadn't of, they would have had the number 1 pick in the draft, where they probably would have drafted Ryan Leaf, knowing the Chicago Bears. But they were right there.
Yeah, Leaf, man, that he was a wild card. But yeah, that's crazy. You see how just down and out the Colts franchise was, and how down and out this city wasn't a huge football city. That's a guy that uplifted he uplifted an entire franchise single-handedly. I mean, he threw 27 picks that year. Could you imagine if a rookie quarterback today threw 27 picks in a season? They'd be labeled as a bust. The validation
when Caleb throws his 6th pick, there's going to be people in our chat screaming about it.
It's not like it was in 2004 when you got, it took Alex Smith 5 years. Shane, I remember my first episode, you were talking about how they're going to run it off with Mitch. And I remember you saying it took Alex Smith 5 years. Could you imagine? Trey Lance would still be on the 49ers today. It's crazy how quick social media and the validation people need. That's a separate point.
Sylvie reported that at least 2 people on the hiring committee wanted Dan Quinn.
But this is the separator, and this is where you have to look at this. So yes, Sylvie is right. Sylvie can report that. But Ryan Poles is what we're saying was handed a list of guys to choose from. He didn't go out and say, I want this guy, and this guy. He was presented a list and you choose from here. Who do you want? Just like Mark said right there. Yeah. 2 people on the committee wanted Quinn. Poles wanted Eberflus. It's not a true coaching search with your GM when he's presented a list. It's like taking your kid car shopping. He wants the fucking Lambo, and those aren't the 3 cars that I'm going to present him. You understand what I'm saying? There's a difference.
It was all set up. George McCaskey had that all. That was all set up. All set up. I mean, there's no way. Ryan Poles and Eberflus, the whole connection to Trace Armstrong. It's just classic political Bears. And Eberflus hired right from here, from Indianapolis. That's what the Bears were comfortable with at the time. After they were uncomfortable with your offensive, head coach in Matt Nagy. But what were we talking about right before that update? Oh, so Peyton Manning uplifts Indianapolis. Listening to both you guys, I mean, here and there for the last year, you guys think we have the one. My biggest concern with Caleb was not the player. It was how he would handle adversity and how he would act as a leader. It's just how I felt. I saw maybe a little bit of a maturity issue with him. I was a little bit worried maybe about the antics of Caleb. Not that he paints his nails or that he was crying with his mom. Just I just didn't always.
But the antics that the media told you, right?
Sure, but the antics that the media told me, and then also just what I saw and what I felt watching him. And he doesn't address the media after he loses.
He did not. He was told not to by Lincoln Riley. That came out.
Mm-hmm.
Told him not to do
and
it.
This is right. No,
that was also the night he had the breakdown with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
So the only things you saw were those things.
Right. When I watched him, when I looked at him, I just didn't always love the way he carried himself. But I was all in on the player and the talent. This is the first overall pick. For everyone worried if the whole Jane Daniels thing, if that's going to pop up, I'm pretty sure the Commanders offered the Bears 3 first-round picks to move up one spot. I don't know if you guys know that for a fact, but that was.
Say again, what was that?
I think Washington offered Chicago 3 firsts to move. But that was not a thing. I thought it was.
That was a thing put out there by people that wanted to keep Justin Fields. There was no verification on that.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and there was also a lot of talk that they wanted. Well, Caleb kind of came right out. Nobody talks about this. Caleb came right out and said he didn't really want to play at home.
Mm-hmm.
In DC.
Yeah. That was and I think that was the thing with him. He embraced Chicago, but I have what I have seen from Caleb apologizing to the team after they fire Shane Waldron.
Yeah.
And just the way he has carried himself as a consummate professional. I have been blown away by how he has carried himself as a 23-year-old young man. That has been really, really impressive to me because it's just something instinctively, whether it was the media telling me or whether it was my friends telling me or whoever, I was just kind of worried about the antics and how he would carry himself through adversity. And he has done phenomenal, done a great job with that. So do you guys believe that Caleb Williams can be bear proof? That he is going to, no matter what.
He just said it. He told you.
I do.
We both do.
I do. I think
he understands the game of football beyond what a normal rookie would. And I think he's played the position his whole life in a competitive way and has God-given talent like we've never seen.
I'm with Ben right here. I totally agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a point where I probably said the same thing about Justin Fields, early on.
Yeah.
But then as things progressed, where you just we're seeing this over and over and over and over again, little things that, guy's wide open and he's not pulling. And we talked about this with Justin on the breakdown of right after we drafted him. And that played in to being a big time issue because it was the release. I think
a lot of people want to roll over in bed and be happy in a win.
Sure.
I'm not that way, Swanky. I look at the whole big picture, where the direction of the team is going. Like, for example, situationally against the Packers this weekend, there's some things I thought Thomas could have done. But was he hindered by the head coach? That's where you have to worry. So differently, he could have been more aggressive. He could have said, no, we're running another play here. I'm the offensive coordinator. Got to get it down. Or is it just Matt's job to do that? You saw the rookie quarterback demanding that they go for it. I mean, it's so loud, the whole stadium could hear. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. We're going to go for it. They go for it. He's got a guy right in his face coming at him, and he throws it and dumps it down after his third read to Roshan Johnson for the first down. He's beyond what it is. Waldron was holding him back. The Bears can't see those types of things. That's where my issues have always lied with the Bears and this clown circus organization building a pyramid backwards. You don't do that. Start with the foundation.
You had 15, 20 coaches reaching out to you. Hey, you know how many guys wanted to come here and coach this kid, this first overall pick?
That's the huge problem.
And this is the best you can do, but so it's just so frustrating. And someone made a really good point on Sunday. You know, I love the improvement, and you know, I thought Thomas Brown did a great job. You know, start off with, you know, the little things early in the game, get some quick hitters, get him in a rhythm throwing the ball. Because the throw to Cole Kmet to the left side of the field, the 3rd and 19. Oh my God, the laser to Roma Dunze, the back shoulder throw on 4th down. Go back, if you guys can, go back and watch and look how confident he was when he threw that back shoulder ball to Rome. Those are just things like I don't
raises his hand, he gets the crowd up, and then he's hustling down to continue the drive.
Yeah, and did you hear him? He talked about that specifically today. He saw Rome's hand go up, and he said, I knew right at that moment it was either going to be a completion or it was going to be DPI because the guy had his back to him. And if you go back and you watch
the shot,
we'll have it out there. The all 22, Phil, it's a thing of beauty. And initially, it was very un-Chicago Bear-like on 4th and 3. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. You know what I mean?
Right, you're
4th
nervous.
and 3, you're looking for them to throw a fucking screen pass behind the line of scrimmage, and you try to eke out 4 yards. That's what the Chicago Bears usually do. But listen, he's not perfect. He's got things he's got to work on, and just is what it is. But I'm with Ben again. He's so far down on my list of worries. I wouldn't trade him for another rookie quarterback in this class still. I don't give a shit about the stats, about the situation. Context matters, and Caleb Williams has been asked to do a whole bunch more than any of these guys. And when it's compared to Jaden Daniels, it's not even fucking close. Has Jaden exceeded my expectations? Yes, he has. He has. But if I would do the same thing over again. I would.
100 out of 100. Ben Hooper, Super Chat, 99. Whoever we need a coach who can lift his skirt and grab his balls. Watching Eber lose is the opposite of everything I was ever taught. Win at all costs. Take no crap. Do whatever it takes to win. Thank you, Ben. I agree with you. Hector Zambrano, $5. Bears should have gone for the touchdown instead of going for the field goal. They had the momentum. Yeah, we talked about that on Bears Hour Live.
I had no problem.
God played it out perfectly for Jim Harbaugh.
I had no problem if they passed it. I really didn't, because I think everybody in the stands expected you to run it. I think the Green Bay Packers expected you to run it.
If they did, I remember Mike Ditka. I don't remember what game. All I could see is it was like 3rd, and they were trying to get into field goal range, and he fucking throws action pass to the tight end. And guess what? Tight end wide open, touchdown.
Yeah.
Puts them to bed right then. And that's great coaching. You got to take those risks sometimes.
But you have to think ahead. Nobody's expecting the Bears to be, yes, they were aggressive and they went for it on 4th down, 3 times during the game? I think it was. Nobody was expecting them to come up to the line and run action, and you try to get, rather than get 4 yards, you get 12, 15, 20. Maybe you break a tackle. Who the fuck knows? But that's why you drafted Caleb Williams number 1 overall, is to make fucking plays just like that. And you said, Caleb, thanks for getting us down there. We're gonna cut your balls off now and go sit down, and we're gonna turn it over to everybody else. 38 seconds and a timeout left.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I mean, I am willing to believe that Caleb, he is a true first overall pick, and that I hope we have. I don't want to buy in too soon, just because I'm worried that all the other ones haven't worked out. But I can't help but be excited. My biggest issue with the Bears, and Caleb is not one of my concerns. And this season, this 2024 season, is not about Caleb Williams. My biggest concern is that in 2021, I would say the worst part of this team was the offensive line. In 2024, the worst part of this team is the offensive line. The first thing you do, Ryan Poles.
I actually think the coaching staff is worse.
True. I would just say, in terms of, if you could pick a side of the ball
on the roster, yeah.
roster,
easily, yeah.
You could have signed a big time. There were 2 or 3 big time left tackles out in that 2022 free agency. You sign a middle linebacker and an outside linebacker to kick off free agency. Now, that doesn't sound like something the Bears would do. You could have drafted John Michael Schmitz in the 2nd round. I remember you, Shane, saying, oh, hey, the Bears, they moved up to 55th. Let's lock up the O-line. They draft Tyreek Stevenson. You know, you could have drafted, I will be honest with you guys, I like Roma Dunze. I think he...
I did too. I was all in on the offensive line.
I wanted Fashanu. Fashanu was the best tackle I feel like I've ever seen coming out of the draft. He was awesome. You've had 3 years, 2 first overall picks, 3 top 10 picks, and you had a chance to build up a championship caliber offensive line. So when your quarterback, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, comes in and is ready, you have the foundation established on the offensive line to build and predicate championship football. Not Coleman Shelton, okay?
Right.
Not a banged up Tevin Jenkins, not Mark Pryor, okay? That's not championship caliber football. And Braxton Jones, I mean, I get it. He did have a good game on Sunday. That's not championship caliber. Why did they always do this? The first thing they do, we're going to fix the secondary, then we're going to get playmakers. But that offensive line, let's sign the guy. Ryan Bates is going to be the guy to
because that's who Ryan Poles was as a player. He was the guy that everybody looked over. He was an undrafted guy. That's who Ian Cunningham was as an offensive lineman. That's who they were. They weren't the top shelf licker.
So they want to give those guys like them a chance to light the fire and ignite.
Yeah.
And that is, Shane, I never thought of it like that. I thought it was kind of typical Bears. Olin Kreutz talks about this all the time. You're going to get
what you pay for.
Julius Peppers, giving him $100 million. You know, we have one of the best defenses in football. We go sign Julius Peppers. Yeah. We always kick that offensive line to the can.
Right. It's like when you have 2 really good things and then you're ahead of those 2 really good things, and those 2 really good things want to better the entire thing, and then the lead dog says, you motherfuckers think you're Netflix, and then those 2 really good things leave and go do their own really good thing and make it successful, right? I don't know if everybody's following along. I know Phil knows what I'm talking about, but that's what it's like. Ryan Poles looks at Ryan Bates. He looks at Coleman Shelton. He looks at all of these guys like these guys don't get a bunch of Has Darnell Wright improved? He's got a ton of talent. He's got dominant moments. To me, he's also out of shape. Just like Jake Curran. Guy that, okay, great. Get in shape. These guys aren't in shape. Darnell Wright is overweight. And I think that's why he's struggling.
Same with Larry Borum.
Oh my God, Borum's
waist. They're out of shape. They don't look in shape. Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Yeah.
And the Chicago Bears offensive line plays like cowards half the time. And it's so much we can get into. I'm glad you came on tonight. Brought it back. Appreciate your
I love his banner when he signed in. TTNL is the best Bears show ever.
There you go, Swanky.
Nice of him to put that in there. It's a little there.
I will say it was nice reconnecting with you guys because I do. My first point that I was going to make, and I forgot it now. I remember you guys did not grow up in Chicago or Chicagoland, and you guys
we're both from Boston.
You guys, you guys love this team, and I think that's awesome. And I'm excited to go on this journey with you guys as fans and see how this plays out. It's gonna be tough to get a win, but wouldn't be surprised if we can rattle Sam Darnold a little bit and pull off a win. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears win, but I like what Thomas Brown has done, and don't give up. don't give up on this team yet. I know you guys. I'm done. I get it. Matt Eberflus. I don't think he's a head coach in this league. I think he's going to probably be back here crashing with me in Indy as a defensive coordinator. But I think that I think the Bears might have a chance on Sunday. But guys, don't give up. Don't give up on this team yet. I know it was tough to see them lose, but don't give up. We got some blood. We got some blood boiling.
We've been in this for the long haul. If we haven't given up yet, we're not giving up. And Phil and I totally believe in the quarterback. So that through all of the bullshit and negativity, that's the silver lining. I mean, that's what keeps you going and keeps us watching and breaking all of this down. And hey, Swanky's back, Bill.
Swanky's back. Swanky is back. Thank you for jumping on with us tonight.
I bet you didn't think this was going to happen a month ago, huh?
Yeah, you're right.
That's what you get for being a little bitch.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's true. I was a little troll. Yeah.
Listen,
that's why people don't like us, Swanky, because everybody's like, just let this shit go, but we call it all out, and we're very, very consistent with that.
Now we'll joke about you, but we'll love you. If I'm not joking about somebody,
that's why we
really like.
Yeah, absolutely. Great talking to you guys, man.
Thank you for jumping on, bro. Matt,
good luck with your new gig, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it.
We'll use you as a TTNL analyst when you go to the NFL Combine.
Oh yes, in the spring, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah, I mean, with March Madness, but the spring, I'll be going to all that stuff. I'm excited to see how they operate that and how they do that. So I'm interested to see that when that comes through. I'm excited.
Are you related to Orange Bear? He just called you the GOAT.
He called you the GOAT.
Yeah, and Acevedo got on my case too when I was trolling you guys. So he was on my case. But I remember Acevedo was a really cool guy when we would talk.
John Gruden, man.
Yeah.
Did you know Acevedo's related to John Gruden?
Really?
Come on, man.
Second cousin.
Banana, Y, spider, banana, whatever.
Yeah. He bought the curtains in Acevedo's side room in his house.
Yeah.
His uncle.
It's his uncle. Yeah.
His uncle.
Yeah. Uncle.
Uncle John. Oh, Swank. Keep in touch with us, Swank.
Is that your real name, David Swank?
Yes,
Should
sir.
I out that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I always go by Swanky. That's usually Swank, Swanky, Swanker. You can call me whatever you want. So
yeah, I'm not.
What are you doing now? What are you doing in Indy?
So I work for this company called Uline. So we're like a shipping supply.
I hate your fucking thick ass magazines, bro.
Yeah.
Quit sending those things quit sending those fuckers to New York.
Yeah, and we're growing out there. We're growing in New York big. Yeah, our catalog is pretty thick. So I work in sales for them. So they had an opportunity here in Indianapolis for me to pursue. So
good for you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good. Oh, thank you so much, man. Yeah, good opportunity for me. And I miss Chicago. That's Sweet Home Chicago is the place you want to be, but it's also great. I mean, I'm only 4 hours away, so it's nice to pursue an opportunity close by in the Midwest. And I was at that Bears Colts game. Oh, bummer. But yeah, wow. it's a lot of fun to be here and
that's where you leave.
Yeah.
Any Eberflus game, you're like, man, I was at that Washington.
You didn't like the old speed option play?
We were just
the goal line,
man. Oh my gosh.
You were like, give it to Doug.
Yeah, Dougie. I know Dougie wanted that one back against Washington, man. I know he wanted that one back. I mean, that was a tough one on Doug.
I would have rather had the Doug dive than the fucking speed option to DeAndre Carter. What are 175-pound receiver blocking their defense?
None of it makes sense.
Didn't the Colts just give up like 300 rushing yards a week?
Yeah. That's the Bears. We're gonna get off the bus running.
Shane called
that through the media. We're gonna get off the bus running, and then they come out and pass the ball 50. What did he had like 52 passes?
Yeah, it was 50 son.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh man.
In game 3.
in Game 3 in
Game
his
3
in the NFL.
Or was it Game 2? Was that the second game of the year?
No, I think it
was
the
Indy week 2 or week 3? No, it was week 3
Titans
because Houston was week 2.
Yeah, Titans crushed the line. Oh my God. We thought Caleb was gonna die against Houston. But so good luck to you, man. Jump back, be in the chat, tell Chris Foster to go fuck himself.
Yeah, I'm looking for Ballard, man. I've been searching.
Chris Ballard.
Searching the streets for him.
Yeah, man.
Well, he might be there soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
You guys, well timed. He might buy a spider 2Y banana.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
All right, what's your prediction? What's your prediction before we let you go?
If I'm being honest with you guys,
It's the only way, man. I feel bad. Matt Parker wants to come on, Shane.
Minnesota just beat. Who did they? Tennessee. Was it in Tennessee?
I think so. Let's just say yes for the sanctity of this show.
Sanity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. I don't. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say.
This is like a dramatic.
Holy shit!
Goodbye, Swanky.
This is like that last bubble question.
Uline just called. Said, hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. No. Now I gotta really hurry up.
All of the above.
I'm gonna say. I am gonna say.
Take your time.
All right. I'm gonna say. I am gonna say. All right, this is tough because I think it's gonna be.
Hey, good job.
All right, I'm gonna go Minnesota